I'm joined by a fantastic individual. If you could design a midfielder that could do everything, shoot, pass, hold the ball, dribble, box to box up and down, you'd build him like this man. Born in the old Yugoslavia, and he played many, many games in that first division before being imported into this country. And you know what? We made him one of our own. He played for the Socceroos, both for the national team and represented our country in futsal. I'm joined up none other than the great Zarko Odzakov. Welcome, Zarko.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm
So
honored to be part of this.
fantastic. So, Zarko, tell us, how did you fall in love with our great game?
I don't know how, but it was only one game that was football, nothing else. In school, I play all the sports, but football was my favorite, and that's why somehow I decide to start and finish with one sport, the best sport in the world, football.
Okay, so and obviously you took a liking and you started playing. What was the age that you played in your first club in Macedonia then?
That was long time ago, and it's not like today. Today the kid starts 5, 6 years old. That time, that was 1969. I was nearly 14 years. That's how it was, and I went to the best club in Macedonia, Vardar, Skopje. Was some trials over there, and I took part of it. And the coaches decided to get me in. That's how I started.
Fantastic. And when was it that you first made the first team?
In that time, the first team had a second team actually.
Okay.
So, like the players who didn't apply for the first team, and they were out of 16. They apply for the second team, and also the players from the youth sides, like myself and few others, we apply for that second team. So I start when I was nearly 16 years old,
Wow.
play for this second team. That was 1972, something like that, and that's how I start playing for the first grade, actually for the second team. But my first professional contract I signed January 1974. I
Mhm.
was 18 years and 2 months when I signed my first professional contract. I was still in a high school, and I was a very, very happy man, you know, and that's how I start, for to play for the first team.
And think about it, 1970s football in Yugoslavia, you're playing against big clubs, Red Star Belgrade, Partizan, Hajduk Split, Dinamo Zagreb. You're traveling up and down the country. Just so that people understand, who are some of the names that are playing with and then against in these sides?
I start playing with the players at least maybe 10 years and more years older than me. So in that generation, I would say Dragan Djajic, the Red Star, the left winger. He was one of the biggest name in that period. But also was so many good players from Red Star, from Hajduk, from Dinamo, as you said, Veles Mostar, like Vladic, Maric. It was like a BMW, called three players that Bajevic, Vladic, and Maric. They were very world-class players. So many players, in that time, Yugoslavia was one of the best country in the world. I remember one of the coaches of Brazil. He said only one national team can compare and play against Brazil. That was Yugoslavia. So that was something fantastic, for the country and for the period I played in Yugoslavia was fantastic. The quality was on the high level, very very high level. The months were very big, and as a professional, sometimes we train 3 times a day, sometimes actually all the time 2 times a day in the morning and afternoon. So but it was fun. It
Yeah.
was something I loved, and that's why I never felt tired of something, and I enjoy all the time.
And how many games did you play in the Yugoslav First Division?
If I am correct, I play about 223 games. I think I should have played more,
Yep.
but I spent more than 1 year in army. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm happy, to play so many games in that league was very, very hard to achieve,
Yep.
and I did it.
Yeah, yeah. And so so if I recall, you also Australia wasn't the first destination that you came to. You also did a short stint over into the States. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. I don't know if you're going to ask me, but I have to say before I answer your question, during my playing period in Yugoslavia, I represent Macedonia and all the teams like under 15, under 19, the
Yes.
senior team. Then also I play for Yugoslav under 19 and under 21 national team. So I was there, I was
Yeah.
nearly there, but I had the chance to go to Red Star, but something happened. Someone stopped the transfer.
Okay.
That was 1973. They wanted me to sign for Red Star, but in that time, a goalkeeper Kajganic came to Vardar. And they wanted to swap him for me, but something happened, and Vardar paid money for Kajganic instead of letting me go to Red Star.
Oh,
But
wow.
what I want to say, if I was there, probably I could have reached the national team, the A national team, because from Vardar, not many players play for the national team, maybe few. That was Meto, Spasovski, and Mutibaric, the goalkeeper. Then after Panchev, but Panchev played for as a Red Star player.
Yes.
Yeah, but now I will answer to your question, or you wanna?
Actually, I wanna ask if
Okay.
you would have been called up, if the Yugoslav national team would have called you up to play for the first team, you would have accepted.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. it's it's the biggest honor, to play for the national team of your country. So, and wasn't easy to get there.
Yes.
So many quality players. So yes, I would have.
Yeah, and obviously, Yugoslavia would more than often qualify for World Cups and European Cups and
Yes, yes,
and the like. So
yes.
and
So
in that
now,
case, if you would have been called up then we would have lost you. So
yes,
this
yes.
is now the sliding door moments. You understand? So
Yeah. Actually, before I played the first official game for Australia, that was September 1985 against New Zealand in New Zealand.
Yep.
I ranked the Federation of Yugoslavia to ask them, because I applied for, as I mentioned, I applied for the under 21.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask if I'm
Permission.
capable, or I can apply for the. They said yes, only if I apply for the A team, then I couldn't apply for the Australian national team. So I was lucky.
And we'll get to that in a moment. So this is a sliding door moment, because people get religious about this, when players who are born in this country don't play for our country. But we've had so many fantastic Socceroos that have been born overseas that have played for us. And to me, you're one of them. So as growing up as a child, wanting to emulate midfielders, I would see you play and run up and down, up and down. You had an engine that you could go all day, and you could do everything on the park. So it's really, you inspired a generation of young Aussies to become better footballers. So that's testament to you. So tell us, so you did a fantastic, obviously, career in Yugoslavia, and I said that you're going to do a short stint. You did a short stint in America before circling to Australia. What happened there?
I wasn't happy with the coach who came to Vardar. So because he tried to put me in some position, I wasn't happy, with the position. So I decided to go to America to play indoor soccer, because I didn't have to ask my club or get permission, So I went to Cleveland, Ohio. The club was forced, and for the preseason, and like a trial, and I signed a contract over there. They were happy with me, but I wasn't happy with the situation over there, because the contract didn't mean anything. They could have let you go anytime they wanted. So I was there about a month and a half. I'm sorry I didn't accept some other offers, from other clubs, but because I didn't feel happy over there. And I had the offer from Preston Macedonia in Melbourne, Australia. And I left Ohio, America, and that's how I came here.
So at the time, some of the people that were with you, you had at Preston, you had Richard Wilson, I think, in goals, and Robbie Tarr playing.
Peter Ollerton was.
Ian Dobson was there at the time.
Yeah.
Gary Cole and obviously.
Yes, George McMillan, our captain. Ljube Petrovski, Zoran Iliovski, George Yolevski. I think he reached some of the maybe national team. Yeah. Then John Markovski, he played also, I think, and George Campbell, Claude Lucchesi, Gary Ward. So many good players. We had good team.
Yeah.
That's why first year we did well.
Mm-hmm.
And but then something happened the second year, and we didn't make the semifinals, playoffs, and that's it. Then I had that problem with the club.
Yeah.
They wanted me to cut my contract. I didn't agree. They put me to the youth side. That was very, very funny. I was 29 and played for the youth side. I played actually about 3 months over there. And then something happened. When I came home, my wife said, some man is asking for you. He rings so many times. And that was Tony Vržina, very known soccer coach, Croatian. And I talked to him. He asked me if I want to go to Sydney, Croatia. And then Vedran Rožić, we know each other from the Yugoslav first division. He played for Hajduk Split, and also he played for the Olympic national team, Yugoslav national team. So he was very, very good player. And I went there. I met Mr. Bašić, the president at that time. We talk about it's unbelievable. We talk about 2 minutes. We agree on everything. And that's how I came to Sydney, Croatia. And I start with my journey actually to be what I become.
And I think that Sydney Croatia team, I think to me it was quality. You think about the amount of Socceroos that played in that side. You're like guys like Graham Jennings and Wally Savoy at the back, Graham Arnold, just to name a few, right? But you guys had a fantastic era in the years that you played at Sydney, Croatia. What was it like transitioning, obviously, from Melbourne to Sydney, and then starting that new club? Was it a welcome relief because you weren't really wanted at Preston anymore? You come now to arguably one of the best sides in the country, and you go there, do a job.
I don't know. The first game I played in Newcastle, and I came to Sydney, and everything started fantastic. I mean, in the beginning it was free kick. I score a goal from free kick, and that's how I start to do everything good. Actually, very good. I was happy. I can't explain what's happened. I can't explain. Probably that was my talent, my abilities, but I could have do everything. Even I was surprised by myself, of things I was doing, but probably I had all these things in myself, so I expressed myself. I was free. I could have do everything, and I feel good. We had good players, good team, good atmosphere, very good supporters, good committee. Everything was good.
Yeah.
But I have to say one thing: we won the league once or twice, but we didn't do good in the playoffs, so we didn't win in the finals. But that was it. I'm sorry about that because uh, we didn't win something. But anyway, I don't like playoffs because if you play the whole year, like say the first year when I came was Philips League, and we play about 28 games, and you become first, and then someone from fifth position win the playoffs. It's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
So
This is the mentality of Australian football, slightly different to Europe or other parts of the world, where the
yes,
team at the top
yes,
finishes top and they're crowned
yes.
the champions. Obviously for home and away leg. Yeah, so I wanted to mention some other people that was so. Robbie Slater came into the side towards the end of your time
Yes,
there.
yes.
So fantastic era from that Sydney Croatia side, and I think in Australia where you were exhibiting your best football as well. Like you said, something clicked, and then you were just dominating there for Sydney Croatia. They're dominating in the midfield, and obviously at that time, the Frank Arok's in charge of the Socceroos. How did he ask for you to become, because you've spent a number of years here? How did he come to ask for you to become a Socceroo?
I had few contacts with Frank during my period in Melbourne, and he said, I have to wait, something to happen. And he knew everything about me. So the moment was here when I came to Sydney, Croatia, and start playing good. And that's how he chose me among nine players for the tournament where we play against Spurs from England, then Vasco da Gama from Brazil, and Udinese from Italy.
Yep.
That was the tournament. And out of these 9, I think it's only me. I made it the final squad, So I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I don't want to do something against someone.
Yep.
And that's how I start. But we play good. We won this tournament. My average, I don't know how to say. Uh,
Performance.
I will say I had like number 9, the score for my achievement.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know how to say. And I was one of the best players of the tournament.
Yep.
And that's how, I start playing for the national team, because Mina scored 2 goals in the final. We beat Vasco da Gama 2-1.
Yes.
That was big win, to beat in that time, the
Champions of
champion
Brazil.
of Brazil.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter national team or not national team, but they were a great team.
Yeah.
And we beat them 2-1. So it was good game, good for us, and good for the start of the campaign for the World Cup '86, I think, in Mexico, or I think so. Or
Yeah. So you were trying to qualify, obviously.
That's how we start
for the 1986 World Cup. Obviously, we know the result there. So you had on your way to play for your first game, you had. How'd you get your passport to get? So
that's funny thing, like that morning we all got ready to go to New Zealand, and I was the only one without passport and citizenship, and without that I couldn't apply for the national team. And I remember Eddie Thompson, the assistant coach, he took me and we went to the immigration department. I was upstairs and doing the swearing and everything for the citizenship. And Eddie was downstairs to assist for the passport. And everything was ready, in maybe 1 hour. And I mean, maybe this is not good if someone sees the, the way I got the passport and the citizenship. And that's how I got the passport. I went back to the hotel. My bags were in the bus, and I just sit and straight to New Zealand.
I think it's a fantastic story. The way, because obviously you wanted to play for Australia, right?
Yes.
And the way we were going to make it happen, you'd spent enough time here. You qualified to be an Aussie, right? But it's a football game, 90 minutes of football that gets you putting up your right hand, swearing the allegiance. Okay, get the passport stamp. Straight to the hotel, grab the bags, put them in the bus, and then you have to play a game of football. Brilliant. I think it's hilarious. I love it.
Yes.
So, but tell me, Zarko, now you're standing, okay, and you hear the national anthem being played. What does that feel like?
I don't know, something fantastic, It was, I don't know, the best feeling, the highest thing you can achieve to play for the national team. I don't want to say I play for Australia, but I felt like this is my country.
Yes.
So I play every game, not 100%, 1,000%,
Yep.
So that's what I am. And I was the happiest man in the world to play for the national team, to stand there, to hear the anthem. It was something, fantastic.
And probably a memory that you'll never forget. Standing there and with your, another 10 boys next to you, willing to play a game of football. I think this is beautiful. This is what football is about. And you, like I said, you inspired a generation of footballers to try and emulate what you could do on the park. And I think this is the beautiful thing about Australian multiculturalism, you know, all different people coming from all different parts of the world and making Australia home, right? So this is who we are and why we do this. Fantastic. What was your favorite moment playing for the Socceroos?
Oh, my favorite. Every game was my favorite moment, you know,
Okay.
because I love the game. I love to play for the national team. But I have to say, because it was the most important game in my life, and in that moment also for all the boys play for the national team to get to the World Cup, you know. So Scotland was the
Good
game.
side. Yeah, good
Yes,
side. Yeah.
the game, but also it is a mystery. After 35 years, it's a mystery to me why I didn't play, or actually why I play only 20 minutes in
Yeah.
out of 180, 2 games. I didn't play. I was on the bench in Scotland, and I played the last 20 minutes in Melbourne against Scotland. So I don't know what's happened. Actually, I will say I probably know what's happened, but I couldn't change anything. So I accept the coach's decision. I was there because I was all my life professional, so I didn't do anything. I didn't even think doing anything, you know. I accept the decision. Maybe it's not too much. Maybe someone will think who I think I am, you know, saying this, but I could have do something more. I couldn't change the game.
Yep.
That was me. That was me changing the game. I needed few seconds. I needed a gap to put through ball. I needed free kick to score. So that's why I think I could have do more, much more for the national team if I play uh, those 2 games.
So I think the last 20 minutes when you came on, I think you changed something. The energy shifted. You know what I mean? You got a couple of chances. You injected yourself into the game. Watched back the game.
Yes, I had this free kick, maybe 30 meters, and the ball was straight in the goal, but he flipped it into the corner. Leighton was the goalkeeper, and then I passed the second and the best chance. I passed few players. I was only Leighton was in front of me, and he surprised me, you know, because he didn't stay on the goal. He came towards me, and I was a little bit surprised, and I didn't score. I missed just maybe for the centimeters. That was like 10 or 15 minutes, you know. If I scored that goal, we could have do maybe more.
Yeah.
But also, I have to say this, that Scotland, maybe because they came from stronger league, you know, Scottish league, they had so many good players,
Yeah.
maybe world-class players, and they came here to Melbourne, I have to say this, just not to lose,
Yes.
because so many few players who play in Scotland didn't came here, you know. So that's why they came here not to lose, and they did that.
Obviously, it's a big feat, you know, what the result in Scotland and then coming here. I think we had the better of the game, the energy of the game, the flow of the game, but we just couldn't score. And if you don't score, then you can't win. That's, I mean, obviously history. And you know, I think Arok originally wanted to play the game up in Darwin, you know, make the Scottish sweat. But
Yeah.
no, the Soccer Federation wanted to play the game in Melbourne. This was perfect conditions for the Scottish, come and play in cold Melbourne. If we would have played the game in, I don't know, some ugly pitch, you know what I mean? Instead of
Yeah.
Olympic Park, we play on some ugly pitch in Darwin or in Broome or somewhere in 40-degree weather. The Scottish, we maybe would have cracked them after 45 minutes and then overran them. But we wanted to sell, 18,000 tickets in Olympic Park and collect the gate instead of making a World Cup. This is the difference now of mentality of the administration at the time. All these factors come into play. Sliding door moments. So the obviously you after Sydney, Croatia, you went on to play at Blacktown. Is that right?
Yeah.
How did they get you across from Sydney, Croatia? I mean, you're probably at the.
I don't know. I had trouble in Melbourne with Preston. So, but I didn't do anything. The same thing happened here. I never ever did anything wrong in Sydney, Croatia. But for the president, after my first 3 years, Mr. Basic left, and I won't mention the name of the president because he was very known. He played with me actually 2 years in the team. I will say Bruno Vidajic. And then the 30 year veteran Rogers told him that he can't fit into the team. And I don't know why, but when he come for the president, he decided to cut my contract maybe 80%, and he wanted to get rid of me. I don't know why. I was a good player. I did everything right, and for the club, and also for the country. But then they asked me to accept. Some people asked me to accept the money, so just to stay in Croatia, and I did that. But again, something happened. I don't know, wrong, and that's how I get to Blacktown. And Blacktown in that year, that time, they play in the second division.
Yeah.
So the coach was Les Schenflug, very known name and very good coach. And I accepted. I play 1 year in the second division. We won the championship.
Yeah.
And we play in the first division. So
Yeah.
I had good 3 years over there.
Yeah.
But the last year, I think Adelaide City, they won the championship, and we play against them. And the only result we needed was win to stay in the league, And actually, that was the second year, or in Blacktown, first year in the first division.
Yep.
And still, the coach was Les Schenflug, and we didn't agree on something. We didn't talk with, I don't know why, but we didn't like each other in that moment. But then we become good friends with Les, and we play as I mentioned, Adelaide City. The result was 2-2. We had free kick, maybe last minute, and Les came into the ground, and he said, "You." I said, "No, I don't want to take the free. No, please, you take. No, that, like we are." But then I agreed to take the free kick, and I score. That's how we beat Adelaide City, and
stay up.
We stay up, and I mean that's like a memory for me. I have this letter from the club, like thank you, for your achievement.
Yeah,
that is more important than some money or something.
Yeah,
I can keep this letter for all my life.
Oh, these are the
Blacktown
brilliant.
was good club. I have to, yeah. And sorry, I stop you, but and I have to say, so many Croatian people came to watch me how I play over there, for Blacktown. So there were some of the people, Croatians, will follow me all around, everywhere.
This is, they wanted to watch good footballers play. And this is the thing, not every player gets to play in a championship winning team. Obviously, you won a team won in Blackdown in the second division, got promoted. But for every team that wins a championship, there's a team that's struggling to survive, okay? And so it's these moments within football that you get a ball, it's a free kick, you score, you win the game, you get some points, you keep a team up. But on the background at this club, right, there's people who give their heart and soul, people who are on the gate and sell the raffle tickets and put up the nets. And these people put their life into a club, right, to come and watch a Zarko Odzakov get the ball and ping it in the goal. So that's why the letter comes. It's very simple. You know what I mean? It's football is life. And these are the moments that people give gratitude. So it's fantastic.
I want to mention something very important to me. Maybe I played the best game for Croatia against Blacktown. That was the year before I went to play for Blacktown, and then for Blacktown play Kevin Keegan, very 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 known English international, and he played as a guest player.
Yep.
And because the Gabby Stadium, Blacktown Stadium, was too small, we played the game in Marconi, so stadium, and it was so many people. More people were outside of the stadium, and I remember, as I mentioned, I played maybe the best game in Australia, so I scored fantastic goal from free kick. The result was 1-1, and I remember Kevin Keegan on TV said, "What this player is doing here, why he don't play overseas?" So also to get something like this from Kevin Keegan, it's fantastic.
It's a big honor, obviously.
Yes.
To me, without a doubt, you've got to be one of our best imports, okay, from any country, not just Yugoslavia, but any country that played a good. You came here when you're already experienced, you already achieved a lot, but you still had a lot to give to the game. So much so that the national team coach wanted to pick you into his squad. So that I think that's testament enough of what you've done for our game. Who are some of the other players that you thought were also quality in the time that you were playing?
Part of the players who play for the national team, like Terry Greedy, Jeff Olva, Alan Davidson, Jennings, Charlie Yankos, Radcliffe, so Steve O'Connor, Farina, Slater, Arnold, Mitchell. Mitchell was the only international in our squad. Then so many good players, Jimmy Patikas.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have to mention some good players from Yugoslavia, like Ante Rumora, then Petkovic, Jurin. I'm sorry, he passed away last year, very young, but he was very, very good player. So many good players, and I was lucky, to play with these guys, like Joe Watson, also great midfielder, Oscar Crino,
Yeah.
fantastic midfielder.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I don't mention someone, but
Yeah.
With Oscar and Alan Davidson, then Paul Trimboli was like a younger player. We play for in
The
mm,
futsal.
Holland,
Yeah.
Holland for the first indoor world championship. So
Yeah.
it was good, you know.
Who had the best futsal skills? Because you obviously had a pedigree. Because futsal is a completely different game. Outdoor, you've got an engine. You run like a thoroughbred, yeah, up and down and up and down. Obviously, in a little court, you need to be good with your feet. You need to be able to hold a ball. You need to play a really. Who was the best futsal player between you, Davidson, Crino, Triboli? All fantastic. Every one of those players can play with their feet. Who bedazzled the team in the futsal side?
Oscar was a good player.
Oscar, yeah.
Very good player. Actually, he could do everything, you know. Indoor or not indoor, he was fantastic player. Yeah, Oscar was South American, so he was very good player.
It's interesting. For me, growing up as a young boy, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I grew up. My father also migrated. We're Magyar, but we came from Kikinda, so we come and watched. Obviously, settled in Melbourne, and I used to sit on the fence, a little pole in Footscray, and chanting "Plavi, Plavi," to watch, Oscar Crino play. And so, seeing Oscar play for Footscray, to me, I think he was, like my idol. But this is an era where Aussie football still there's a honesty about the football. Yeah, there's a quality and an honesty, and an integrity about it. I look back on those years with much fondness. And there's not too many players that can say that represented Australia both in the indoor game and the outdoor game, other than you boys that went. So fantastic. So obviously fantastic career in football. For some fantastic moments. You had an engine. I think you could probably play a game and then run a half marathon afterwards. I think it wouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? So, Zarko, okay, 90 minutes is up, but now get your boots, runners as they go, run a half marathon. You'd probably be able to do it.
I am asking myself why I stopped when I was 34.
Yeah.
I can't understand even now after 35 years why I didn't play more. I'm very, very sorry. 34, I could have do everything.
Yeah.
Decide to no more. I don't know why.
You obviously then went on to coaching. You coached both here, and then you went on obviously overseas to coach at the highest possible level. You went and coached at Vardar back in Macedonia, and then it wasn't soon long after that you got the job from the federation to coach the national side in the under 20. Is it the 20?
Under 19 and under 21.
20 months, yeah. So, but you would have played against some fantastic opposition at that time. What were some of the opponents? Name some of the names that were playing against your boys, the Macedonian boys. What were some of the names?
I have to. I will say that I start with like one team in Skopje, Metalurg Skopje, to be assistant. Then I was 2 times assistant in Vardar. Then I was first. Coach in Vardar. So that's how I start. I got this offer from the federation in 97, and I start with the under 19, and we had this. We won the group for the qualification for the European Championship, and unfortunately for us, we had to play against Spain, and Iniesta and Fernando Torres, one of the best ever, maybe Spanish and world class players. We lost our first game. We lost in Macedonia 3-1. But our best player, Pandev, he is
Yes.
very, very known. He is the best ever Macedonian player. He won the World Cup with Inter and everything.
Mm,
Uh, and he's still playing for Genova,
yep.
37. And he got, uh, before the end of the first half, he got red card. I don't know why. The result was 1-1, so we could have do anything. I mean, something. Who knows? But we lost 3-1. Then we lost 4-0 against. I mean, in Spain. So, but that was very, very interesting to play against Iniesta and Torres, and also all the Spanish players were fantastic. So that's how I got promoted for under 21 national team coach. But my career as a coach didn't last too much because I decided to stop because I couldn't listen people out of football to dictate what to do, who to pick, and all that. But that's how I stopped, and I'm sorry about that. So I'm sorry I stopped at 34. I'm sorry I stopped as a coach.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
But to become a coach, I had to finish this school in Belgrade. That
Yeah.
in that time that was like university, 2 years, and that was the highest level diploma in Europe. So, but then 2001, UEFA start doing their own licenses like C, B, A, and Pro. And after maybe so many years, maybe more than 10 years, my best friend, Gyora Jovanovski, we played from the beginning as a juniors
Yes.
until my days in first team. And he also was national team coach,
Mhm.
Macedonian national team side. And one day he said to me, "Why don't you get these diplomas, B and A?" And he already had the pro license, and we can go, somewhere to coach someone. All right, I said, and I did it, and now I have a UEFA diploma, but it's somewhere, I don't know where. And but we didn't go anywhere, and that's it. Now,
But I mean, look, Zarko, you know football. You played football your whole life. You played football at the highest possible level, right? You played football where against in games where Kenny Dalglish was on the thing, Alex Ferguson was coaching against you, where Kevin Keegan said, "There, what's this boy doing here? He should be somewhere else." You played football at the highest level, okay? So you know football, okay? You played football your whole life, and you're a man of principles, right? So when the president would say, "Listen, we're cutting your wage by half," or whatever, you say, "Okay, thank you very much." You pack your bag and you go, right? Or if somebody says to you, "Okay, pick this boy here in this position," you say, "Not for me, right? I'm not being the coach. If you want to pick the team, you go." Right?
yeah.
So that's you're a principled man. I respect that a lot. So, but what I want now is, because you played at the highest possible level, there's going to be some kids listening to this. What advice do you have for these children they say, "I want to play at the highest possible level"? What would you say to them?
First of all, they have to love football. Some people say you have to sleep with the ball, so keep the ball always next to you. Do things, doesn't matter what, always with the ball, and then listen to the coaches. I hope the qualified coaches who wants you to learn something, coach who can show you, because if the coach can show you what he's expecting from you. That's not a coach,
Mm.
It's easy to say, do this, do that, but you have to show to the player, especially to the young player. The young players must work very hard. Maybe not that young, but as they grow, they have to know if they want to succeed. They have to forget about many, many things.
Mm.
I'm not joking. Forget about so many girls, drinks,
Yeah.
nights to go out. It's so many things you have to say no, and work, 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 work. Even if you don't have the greatest talent in the world, if you work, it's so many players, not that much talented. They are world class players, but not probably, they work hard
Yeah.
all their lives, every training session. So I have to say this, you know, I was all the time I was free. I was doing my own training with the ball, without the ball, running. I was doing everything. So you have to give up so many things. And but the most important thing is to love this sport, to love the ball, to love football, and nothing can stop you to succeed.
That's amazing because a lot of players say they want to make it pro, but it's just like the words, yeah. And obviously the talk is cheap. Another thing to then go and say train every day, yeah, to make the commitment. And I think people don't realize the sacrifice. When you say don't think about anything else, what you're saying is I sacrificed all these things I could have had, but I chose football to play at the highest possible level.
I remember uh, first of my coaches, he was always saying to us, get married early, get married, to settle down,
Mm.
to stay home, to think about your family, also to think about football.
Mm.
Because if you're not married, you know, the life is different. We have so many possibilities to do something.
Mm.
Uh, and that was good idea, I think so. So uh, I don't know. This is serious
Yeah.
thing. It's like a profession. Like you go to work every morning, 6 or 7 o'clock. You come home 4 or 5 o'clock. You work over there. Professionalism is the same thing,
Mm.
And I remember we had four sessions, as a professional in Vardar, like 7 o'clock in the morning.
In a
Then
day.
yeah, yeah,
We'll get up and then
get up,
breakfast, then session,
yeah,
lunch.
yeah,
Wow.
session, breakfast, session, lunch, session, and then nighttime again.
Wow.
And you have to be ready. As I mentioned before, the Yugoslav league was very, very, very strong. So we had to be prepared to answer all the questions.
Hmm. Yeah, it's almost it's sometimes not even about the 90 minutes of football on the weekend, right? It's about all the hours that you put in during the week, year after year after year, right?
Yes.
What are some of the fondest memories? If you could tell us a memory that you have of your footballing career that you would like to share with the people that will watch.
Oh, I don't know. My memories. I remember this. It's out of football, but it's also connected to football. That was very, very good moment when I met the Queen. yes, and her husband. Uh, when we won the group, Oceania group, for the qualifying,
Yep.
group for the World Cup, then I don't know, someone organized among so many guests and the Australian national team to be guests, in some hotel in the city here in Sydney.
Mm.
And that's how we become part of this.
Delegation.
Yeah, and I remember that is funniest thing uh, with me was my wife, and the Queen and her husband, Duke or whatever his name.
Edinburgh. Drew, yeah.
Yeah, they stopped in front of us, and because we wear the uniform, with the
National team.
Australian, yeah, national, yeah, and they stop in front of us. And the funniest thing is, out of all, I will say, Australian boys,
Yeah.
they start talking to me and my wife,
Yeah.
who are you? What is this uniform? And, that was very, very funny, but also I was honored, I have some pictures, in the paper, me and my wife talking to the Queen. So that is one
Fantastic.
of, yeah, the moment I will always remember.
Yeah.
And about soccer, every moment was
Special.
special for me.
Mm.
But when I signed my first contract, was very, very special moment for me. To become a professional in that league. With the club you love. That was a very special moment. Then my first game, with
Yeah.
Vardar, I remember it was we played Sloboda, Tuzla, that was for the Yugoslav Cup. Then my first games in the national under 19, under 21 in Yugoslavia. So many games. I scored one of my best goals, free kick uh, to against Maric. That was national team.
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper,
Yes.
30 meters free kick, in front
Beautiful.
of your supporters. And then when I came here, you know, the start, with Croatia, and the special moment, to become Australian citizen, to get the passport and play for the greatest team in the world. That was, we had good squad,
Yeah.
good players, good people, good boys. I mean, everything was good.
Yeah.
A part of, I'm wondering and I'm asking myself why I didn't play. I mentioned before why I didn't play against Scotland. Everything was perfect. I was happy. With everything. I'm not troublemaker, so
This
very
is
special moment. Play for Australia. It's
Yeah. These are the, obviously, you think back on your career, you played fantastic club, Vardar, biggest club in Macedonia, still the biggest club, I think. And, to be a young Macedonian boy from Yugoslavia to play now for the biggest club within Macedonia, I'm sure all the boys from your area are thinking, oh boy, Zarko's made it. And then obviously, that feeling, you think back. I mean, you're still fit. You've just turned 65. You close 65.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. So I
yeah,
think you just
yes,
closed 65. Your 65th
65.
birthday. You're born in November, so you look good for 65. Maybe we get you back on the park. Yeah, run up and down, box to box.
Yes,
I got a
yes.
job for you, huh? What do you reckon?
Uh, I have to tell you that I'm walking every day 15 kilometers.
Wow.
Yes, 15, sometimes more.
Yeah.
But my average is about 15 kilometers every day. So
Fantastic.
I'm doing this for the last 9 months since this
COVID.
COVID-19 started, and doesn't matter raining, cold, hot. With my friend, we are doing every day. So I'm very I'm fit, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have bad knees. I can't run.
Yeah.
I stopped running about 6 years ago. So I'm paying the price,
Yes.
and but I can walk.
Yes.
I can ride a bike. So I feel all right. I feel fit.
Yeah, you're fit. So it's all those kilometers that you put up and down the pitch. What final messages do you have? Because I know there'll be a lot of people that looked fondly on your time here, especially I think the Macedonian community still say your name. When I go somewhere, I was literally speaking to someone just before, and they were saying your name fondly. What messages do you have for the Macedonian people here in Australia and those Sydney Croatia supporters who I would say still love you?
I will start to say something about the football here. What I don't like is kill all the ethnic clubs.
Mm.
I don't like that because they kill the supporters. They kill so many things positive for the football here. They create unnatural clubs. I think they're all coming because I mean they some rich men decided to have a club. Let's do the A League, and as you said, this is so many uh, different people, different cultures are involved, maybe from all over the world. All the cultures are here. So to kill all that was mistake. Then doesn't matter to win or to become a last in the league. You still staying in the league. I don't like that, you know. And because the competition is a challenge.
Mm.
You have to achieve something. You have to do something to be better, to make your supporters happy or
Yeah.
sad sometimes. You know, if you go down in the second division, but here is not first or second division. Actually, it is, but you never. You always in the first divisions are always in the first division.
Mm.
A state league is always in the state league. You know, this year the final was Sydney Croatia. Actually, Sydney United against uh, Rockdale City, and so Sydney Croatia won the title. But what is the difference? Next year they play again in the state league. So I don't know how FIFA is allowed this. This is not good for football. We have to be, as I said, challenged. We have to compete. We have to have something in front of you to look forward to get better results. You know,
Mm.
that's how as you mentioned, uh, the clubs doesn't matter, Italian, Macedonian, Croatian, Serbian, Maltese, or whatever, Greeks. You know, without anything in front of them, you know, like challenge to win the competition and become a league team. You can expect something good, you know, and not many supporters. I am 2 years how I'm back here. I watch so many games, but is not many supporters. Even last year, before the COVID, you know, not many supporters. I remember in my time, doesn't matter Preston or Croatia, 10,000, 15,000 people every game, you know, because their own people, they come to support the club.
Mm.
And that's how they get together, they see each other, they discuss, they make also profit for the club. They eat something, they drink, they
Yeah,
pay for the ticket, they support their club, you know, anyway they like, they can. And I think this is little bit changed now with this A League. A League is okay, but should be B League.
yeah,
I read something, someone mentioned it, and probably, I don't know when, maybe something will change.
yeah, yeah. This is wise words, and you know the the formation of all these clubs. All these clubs still exist. Yeah. So Preston,
Yeah,
in Croatia, South Melbourne, Hellas, Melbourne Knights, you know, Heidelberg,
yeah.
Adelaide City, you know, all these.
What about Portugal?
So no, Footscray just is no more. So
No?
no, Footscray finished many years ago. When
Okay.
Yugoslavia split, Footscray split too. So
Yeah,
yeah. So anyway, but the beautiful thing about these clubs is the same people. You know, City Olympic, the same people are there. You know, these people are lifelong for their club,
yeah,
and you know, uh, players come and players go, coaches come and coaches go, but the lifeblood of these clubs, the people who support these clubs, they stay forever. You know, they support their club. And this is the beautiful thing about Australian football. So we need to reintegrate that back into Australian football, and then we'll get some of this spirit back into Australian football. Zarko Odzakov, build me a midfielder like Zarko, okay? So it can run all day and we're not going to have a problem, you know, like with, I think now, what does the Australian national team need? You know, a couple of box-to-box midfielders playing at the highest possible level. They can do everything: defend, shoot, pass, run. Yeah, I think of Zarko Odzakov. So you're a fantastic footballer. Obviously went on to coach at the highest possible level. Maybe one day, okay, your knees are bad, but maybe you can still help some young boys there in Sydney.
anytime
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah, fantastic. This is, you heard it first there. Call Zarko and he'll teach you something about football.
Why not?
Okay, beautiful, beautiful stories. Thank you so much, Zarko Odzakov.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am honored. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.